In Chivalry 2, you are not the main character. What's going on, guys? It's Seany Salami, and we will be using the Greatsword on Escape from Fallmire today in one of the best games I ever played. We've been saying that a lot recently because I've been getting a lot better at this game. But more importantly, this is a tough look because I played very selfishly, and we're going to break that down as we go. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, playing this game has given me a little bit of an ego ever since I started content creation. Before making videos, this game was just fun for me, and it was never anything too serious. I liked being good at it, but it wasn't why I played. So in this game that was a few weeks ago, it was a bit of a wake-up call that I'm kind of forgetting there's 63 other players in the lobby. It's not all about myself. So we're going to break down, like I said, the selfish play. And the gameplay is great in this one. It was one of my best games. At the time it was recorded, it was before the 95 kill game I had recently. So this was my best game at that point that I had ever played. Statistically, again, this is just, I'm kind of ashamed of this game because I didn't even want to put it up originally, but nevertheless, sit back and enjoy as we attack on Escape from Fallmire. We're going to be using the Greatsword, and we will be having a relaxing commentary, funny moments, the whole 9 yards as we go. And we'll be playing with Stomper, who is the opposite of how I played in this. He's always a team player, and he's always just patient with me when I have my ADHD breaks and get off after just 2 or 3 games, only to come back in 20 minutes. So shout out Stomper. You guys have been seeing him in some recent videos. Awesome dude, one of my favorite people. Something I am going to stand by, and I don't think this is necessarily something I'm going to change, is I'm not doing the objective yet. Guys, if it's a lobby that's not that good or that sweaty, it's going to be too easy for me to break open these cages, especially when I have friends with me. So I want people to enjoy this map and just not sprint towards the cage and open it immediately. I know that's kind of a hot take, but 4 years into the game, I think most of us don't really want to play this just for winning games. We just want to have cool moments. Basically, I'm in no rush because I can go break that at any time if I want to. The lobby is not sweaty enough for it to matter. I remember this is right away. I can tell you that when I checked the scoreboard and saw I already had 15 kills and 1 death, that I was locked in. I was trying to voice chat with Stomper, and I was even just spacing out because I was in such a flow state, and he probably thought I was on drugs. So they free the prisoners. Now it's on to stage number 2, and that's where things are going to start to get a little ugly with the selfish play. So stay tuned. We're going to be getting into that in a bit. When I get tackled, what I like to do is just wait a second before getting up because people expect you to roll right away and attack where you're going to be going. And I think that if you just wait a second, not a lot of people do that, so it throws off the timing and you can escape a hit. You're going to be seeing a ton of overheads in this game. That's how I racked up so many kills. The overhead on the Greatsword is one of the best attacks in the entire game. It also one-shots archers, so that's always a bonus when it's a heavy overhead. It's also one of the best feeling attacks in the game. It feels so weighty, and it just feels so great to use. I forgot about this. We're going to run into Ratman. He's on the other team. We're going to be seeing him later in the game is all I'll say. Great music taste and one of the funniest people in the Chivalry 2 community. Also a goated engineer for the CK clan. And he is a perfect example of what is so great about The Unyielding, which is my Discord that will be in the description. Definitely check that out because there's amazing players like Ratman and also casuals. It's the perfect place to get into the Chivalry 2 community. It's a great balance of competitive players or great players that also have the mindset of wanting to help new players. So I shout it out every single video. It's the greatest thing that's come out of content creation for me. So I'd love to get games in with all of the viewers possible. So definitely check that out in the description, like I said. This teammate is going to start hitting me a ton, and I'm going to teabag him after he gets shot. He is completely justified for doing this, and I'm going to show you guys in a second. He's going to vote kick me, and you're going to want to see the team damage here. 143 is an absurd amount of team damage, and if he's frustrated from that, how can you really blame him? And I'm going to get a ton of votes. It's almost going to pass. And I'm even telling Grundle Stomper in voice chat that I can't even be mad at that. I shot the guy a message, he didn't answer, but that is a completely understandable vote kick, and they hit me a bunch. And it's after this game, this was the one that made me change my sensitivity settings and turn them way down because this is getting a little ridiculous. Like, I didn't even realize I was doing that much team damage until I saw it on the screen. Yes, I'm in voice chat, like I said, but that's really no excuse. This is not being considerate to other players. Not cool at all. So, again, I apologize. It was totally understandable he did that. And quite honestly, this is when we're going to talk about like content creator ego is I haven't really fixed that yet in this game. I know it was a problem. I said the guy was justified for doing it, but I'm not making enough of a conscious effort to stop because I'm still hitting my teammates a little bit and it's just not okay. So looking back at this game, editing it, and then not putting it up initially was what made me realize, like I said, it's time to change this and get it out of my game. We're going to go for a nice bath, and while we do that, our team is going to continue to breach the gates. And it's funny because this side is always so heavily defended and attacked. So usually the right side is what decides it in a public lobby. So they're able to get that done, and it's on to stage number 3. We have breached the gates. It should have been easy to land these overheads. They were pretty much served up on a silver platter, but I'm missing them, and I don't know. I don't think I played this too well. I'm going to go for a jab at the wrong time as well. Now we're starting to land some, though. The overheads, again, are just so filthy on the Greatsword. One of the best attacks in the game, and we're piling up kills here. This is a nice flank spot here if you walk up the roof. If your team hasn't pushed towards the cages enough yet, you can usually get behind people right here. I think everybody knows Fallmire is one of the best maps. It's pretty beloved, but I think this objective doesn't get the credit it's due sometimes. I love that there's multiple open areas to fight instead of just one central area. Not that I don't like those King of the Hill type objectives, but it's a nice change of pace and works pretty well. Short duel here, but pretty fierce. He goes for the jab, we sidestep it, nice little slash there. Another 1v1 against someone with a war axe, and check this out. This is what you want to do when you're trying to outrange someone, is crouch to stop your forward momentum when you're swinging. It's especially useful against people that are aggressive with one-handers, but here we're able to use it to outrange the war axe just enough to take back momentum of that fight and get the kill. So as we're respawning, they do free the prisoners in the end, and now it's time to capture the bridge. The capturing the bridge phase is pretty interesting. I think this is one of the better bridges in Chivalry 2. It's pretty cramped, but I don't know. I like that there's an underneath part to go to, so we're going to get into that. Pretty reckless here. This is kind of an example of how the Greatsword is so much different on Knight than Vanguard, because Vanguard I'd be running around trying to just find people that are maybe off to the sides a little bit. It's a little harder to play it on a bridge in general, but the Knight I can just front line and play pretty recklessly. Gonna go on autopilot here, just rushing like a madman, not even attacking anyone, just spacing out. And we're gonna try and get out of there pretty quickly because it was just not a good call and we snap back to reality. Pretty funny. Not too much of note going on, just pretty solid gameplay, sticking with the team, trying to encircle people.
One way or the other, we must reach that gate.
We seem pretty dead to rights in this 1vx, but we jump out of desperation to get out of there, but you'll never guess what happens next.
Get Thorn free in the name of Argon.
So it's going to be tough sledding to get through the cranks and free the champion because Ratman and his fellow engineers have set up the Great Wall of China. Look at all those barricades. That's crazy. Starting to work the cranks here, and obviously I am going to accept the champion because, you know, it's been a goal for a while to try and get 100 kills. I don't go out of my way to try and get it, but when I'm this close at this point in the game, it's definitely something I'm going to go for. Now, I would like to ask if you've been enjoying the video to this point to please give it a like for the algorithm. It definitely helps out smart YouTubers like me a ton. And if you're enjoying the video, to please subscribe for future content. And lastly, channel memberships are in the description and the pinned comment for those that want to support the Seany PC Fund. And let's see if we can get this win as VIP, where we are going to make a lot of selfish mistakes. Let's see if we can get to the bow regardless. And here we go. So an absolutely brutal look for me trying to farm kills to get a 100 kill a game. Not cool at all. Yeah, so the content creator ego definitely got the better of me. I was standing by that flag to heal and just farm kills. Very, very selfish play. And shout out to Ratman, who did end up getting the kill on me. He was the one to get the last hit, and he built a lot of those barricades. So yeah, great game statistically, but it just did not feel good to play like that. 89 kills, 19 deaths, 160 takedowns. But I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Check out the video on the screen now where I played much less selfishly, but also had an even better game.